much better this year. Has a good defense to go with Jim Kelly, the main man of Mouse Davis's run and shoot offense. On the other side of the field, Vince Evans, formerly the Chicago Bears and Blitz, is trying to learn this offense under Mouse Davis, who is the man who has resurrected the offense and has honed it for professional standards, and that's why there's all the excitement here tonight and in professional football. Now, the Gamblers in their first home game have won the toss and will receive. Therefore, Brian Spielman will be kicking off. And the deep man back will be Clarence Verdun, number 89, averaging nearly 25 yards per return. His longest of the year, 94 yards for a touchdown. Good crowd, always a late arriving crowd, and Ed Biles, his former coach of the Oilers, can tell in Houston, for a nighttime game, they show up 15, 20 minutes late, but they do show up.
There'll be a good crowd here this evening. Should be a very vocal crowd, this being the first home game for the Gamblers, Jim.
All right, Spielman, who has good leg, he handles both the punting and the kickoffs. A 3-year veteran out of Capital University in Ohio will kick off. Dan waits for it at the 6. Dan tries to get outside, makes a good inside move, loses the football, and I believe it has been recovered by Denver, although there's no signal yet. Jumping on the ball looked like Neil Hope, number 54. And Neil Hope is getting up, and there's a big turnover.
Well, he just simply looked like he came to the wrong side. The blocking was off to his right, but he comes up to the left. He just simply loses the ball. He isn't even hit when he lost the football. Didn't lock it away, trying to make moves, laid it down for Hope to pick it up.
I think it's all over. They're bringing the ball back because there's a flag down and could be offside on the kick. But let's look at Verdun again.
And again, he's not touched here. He just comes up through there and carrying the ball very loosely, swings it and loses it away. Never touched. They got a break with this penalty.
You know, if they are offside, and they have not yet said what it is, now they're going to say they're offside. I don't recall many kickoffs in the USFL this year where someone has not been offside. This is the first time I've seen it called, and it happened on a recovered fumble. But remember, the flag went down immediately, even before the return.
Yes, it's been one of the things we've been talking about, and everybody's discussing the fact that they've been very lenient on that kickoff. Evidently, this must have been very flagrant for them to call it.
Now, Spielman will kick off from the 30. Verdun, who wants another shot at it, comes out near the 10-yard line to handle it. Big opening break against the goal and for the Gamblers. Spielman again, leading the Western Conference. Houston, Denver wins tonight. It'd be a flat-out tie. Good leg, backing Verdun all the way up to the end zone, where he'll have to bring it out. Lost the 20 on the sideline. Verdun, Spielman is the only man there, and Spielman gets him. This time Verdun returns it 60 yards to the 40-yard line. Off the hook, and he took advantage of it.
What a difference a penalty can make. He looks it in this time, starts up. Now he's going to break out to his left where the blocking is. Looks for the wall. There's a kick-out block there. Now he simply makes moves out. Good block by Calvin Eason in there. Now he's racing down the sideline. It almost looked like he could cut back the inside and take it all the way. But I'm sure he's very happy with that return after the first mistake.
Now look closely. Jim Kelly, number 12, 4 wide receivers. Johnson, 22. Verdun filling in for Sanders, 89. McGee, 88. Gerald McNeil, 13. They seldom run the ball. That is Clark, the lone running back in motion. And yes, Kelly's going to throw. Kelly throws, and it is off the hands of the intended receiver. And that was Clarence Verdun. Now, along with the men just mentioned, Rick Kerr, 74, Tommy Robeson, 70 of the tackles, Scott Boucher, 60, Dan Rosado, 65, the guards, Frank Khalil, 67 at center. Rosado got out of Northern Illinois. Native of Puerto Rico, did not play for 5 years. This is his rookie year. He was a soft drink plant manager, but came out and made the team. Oh, second down 10. There's Johnson in motion. And here goes Kelly. Kelly fakes. Kelly's in a group of folks and dumps the ball out there, only for a yard or two. And that was his Darrell Clark, the only running back that was there. Defensively, they'll play a 4-man front, Denver, instead of the 3-man they usually do. Bruce Thornton, 60, Mike Talaferro, 73, Doug Miklas, 70, Calvin Turner, 99. Linebackers Stan Blink of 50, John Nevins, their good rookie, 59 in the middle, Mike McKibben, 53 on the outside. Corners David Martin, 13, Nate Miller, 23. Safety strong side Hemphill, 25, and the free safety Steve Trimble, 47. Make it third down and about 10. And Kelly hasn't completed with that little short one tonight, but now has the man across the way, and that is Clark, and that is not enough. As the linebacker McKibben was there with him, and it's fourth down. So the magic of Jim Kelly on the first series of the Gamblers in their first home game did not pay off.
Well, it's very interesting. They came out and did something they haven't done before.
They're going to go in.
Do that. They'll probably go for it. But they used their remaining back, the first play and the third play. They put him in motion. Now, they have not motioned him. Second play, they used reverse motion with the wide receivers. That's 3 new plays that they have not shown this year.
Well, now we see that all the wide receivers are back in. Kelly. As for Dan, the man in motion. Third down and 5. This is confidence. This is for the touchdown. Johnson gets the ball. Good defensive play back there by Jeff Delaney, the nickel back, the veteran out of Alabama State. Well, that's the kind of football we'll see tonight. Kelly on 4th and 5 went for the ball, and Delaney did the good job of defending against Richard Johnson.
Here we can see it from the end zone as he's rolling out to his left. Tries to get it down there deep, but Delaney is just in great position. 2 defensive back. They got double coverage. Ball hung up in the air a little bit longer than what he might want it to be, but defensive safety man Delaney, nickelback. Here's a good look at Jim after this ball. Look at that great form, though. Probably a little bit unhappy with himself. He didn't quite get it down. He wanted it badly.
Now let's look at the first play from scrimmage with Evans back to throw. Evans does not complete his pass. Coming across was Kelly Johnson, the rookie out of Colorado, and he couldn't hold on to the ball, slightly behind him. Vince Evans out of USC, the quarterback. Wide receivers Kelly, 87, who dropped that ball. Leonard Harris, 80. Vincent White, 44. Mark Lewis, 88. Your tackles are Feasel, who will have a job tonight with Caton, and Miller. Yarno and Neese, the guards. Tom Davis, the center. And the lone running back will have to check Bill Johnson or Todd Gerhardt. I would assume that it is Bill Johnson in there, number 34. Second down 10. That's Vincent White in motion. Here's Evans rolling out, looking for the sidelines. This time, Kelly Johnson holds on to it. First down midfield. And the first down of the night goes to the visiting run-in shooters, the Gold of Denver.
We've seen an end zone shot here now. He is going away from the 3-receiver side. Gamblers took the linebacker, dropped him deep, but Kelly broke back to the outside, forced a one-on-one situation with Will Lewis. 90 Van Hughes coming up the middle here. Good protection inside. Gets there just the least bit late. Jose Taylor in there along with Van Hughes.
Well, I wonder how long this game will last with them throwing the ball. Will we be out of here by midnight or not? This is exciting. That's Leonard Harris in motion, and Vince Evans loves this because the quarterback gets the throw. In trouble here, gets the ball away and past his back, Bill Johnson, who had circled out of the backfield about 3 yards downfield, and Evans couldn't get it between all those big folks in front of him to it.
Well, but that's a dimension that Evans gives to the football team. A lot of quarterbacks would have been sacked in that situation, but he scrambled around, moved around, and finally found someone open that he could at least throw an incomplete pass to.
Ed, this is a game I've looked forward to since I saw it on the schedule. The 2 run-and-shoot offenses meeting up for the first time.
And they're both a little bit nervous. You can almost see in the play right now, they're kind of looking, wondering what the other defensive coordinator is going to come up with and stuff. They'll settle down, and both teams will move the football.
They know what the offense is going to do. They're just wondering about the defense. I think a defense would be pretty standard on both squads. Harris, the man in motion. Evans on second down. He's got a man over here and overthrows Mark Lewis, number 88, the wide receiver. And Durwood Rockmore was there with him, along with Dennis DeVaughn. Everybody's using the nickel back and many times the dime back. 6 backs, 5 backs, all over the place because they know they're going to throw. As we said, Houston last week in their game ran the ball just 5 times. That's a record.
One of of the reasons they're not moving the ball, though, in fairness to the Houston Gamblers, is they have had injuries at that fullback position. Todd Fowler down with the knee. Sam Harrell has had a bad ankle.
Johnson wide left. Harris in motion. And on 3rd down 10, Evans throws out here to Mark Lewis. Lewis looking for the first down and does not get it. Gets across the 45 to about the 43 and is stopped there. And that is it. The linebacker, Andy Hawkins, the leading tackler, number 59, made the tackle. It is Crosby, Hughes, Taylor, Caton. The front four, Hawkins, Diala, and Hawkins, another Hawkins, they're brothers. The linebackers, Mitchell and Lewis, the corners, Bradley and Rockmore, the safeties, with Devon being used, Eason being used as 5th and 6th backs. But now the punt by Brian Spielman. Nobody back deep, and now McNeil goes back deep. Maybe they thought that Denver was going to do the same thing, go on 4th down, but they kick it away and toward the end zone, and since it's over his head, he wisely will let it go, but it may be found inside the 5, and he is down there by number 42, Nate Harris. First down inside the 5-yard line. And out comes Jim Kelly, who could pick up the first down the first time. 11:52 to go, first quarter, and there's no score here at the Astrodome, where things are just beginning to warm up with 2 run-and-shoot offenses. The Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Kelly and company inside their own 5-yard line. Kelly is 0 for 3.
Jim, they have 5 wide receivers in the ballgame.
Why not?
That remaining back is not a remaining back.
And there's Kelly. They didn't know how to cover that out there. He's knocked out of bounds. That's the man who wasn't the remaining back. That is Mark Barus. And they didn't know what to do with him. I guess a linebacker. How are they going to cover a man who's 5'9", 180 and can fly with a linebacker?
Well, it's obvious that that's a new thought for this ball game. They took their remaining back out and put that 5th wide receiver in the game, then put him in motion. And I'm sure the Denver people had to be a little bit confused by that.
All right, Ed Bobs, when have you ever seen 5 wide receivers in the game before?
I can't remember ever seeing 5. I can't remember seeing as many with the speed that these receivers have.
It is a first down. It's out near the 15-yard line. Baruch remains in there. He's the man in motion. No running back at all. They just gave up on the running game. Kelly going deep, trying to get it down there, and just past Clarence Verdun. That's 2 long bombers. And look back there right with him was number 25, Darrell Hemphill, who leads the club in interceptions, spent some time with the Colts out of West Texas State. 11:22 to go. 4 minutes have not yet gone by, and they're it's what we expected.
And it's going to be exciting because soon they'll be catching those balls, and soon the timing between both these quarterbacks will come together. Good coverage that time, though, by the Denver secondary.
3rd down with the ball just inside the 15-yard line. Isn't that something? They went for long, long passes. Now Sam Harrell has come in, and you would think he or Kelly will carry the ball the short distance they have for the first down, and that's Kelly. And he's got it easily. On a quick count, Kelly gets across the 15-yard line.
Well, that's one of those plays where the line doesn't move, just the center and the quarterback know it. He took the cap, went right straight ahead. The rest of the offensive linemen didn't move.
Oh, the ball is on the 16-yard line. The excitement, we've not told you that Ted Humphreys, our referee tonight, the back judge Kent Henry, Robert Walker, the head linesman, the line judge is Buddy Ojeski, umpire David Foley, the former NFL lineman, John Everett, the side judge, and the field judge is Michael Looney. And they are going to run their feet off tonight in this outfit. I wonder if they took some extra jogging. 5 again. They put Baruch back in again. Here's Kelly standing in the middle of a lot of folks, going deep again. And now men are tripping over each other. No flag because they absolutely ran into each other. Sean Potts and Steve Trimble. Potts, the receiver, Trimble, the free safety, just ran over each other. They were both looking at the ball, and they just ran into each other and fell down.
That's a good call by the officials, and that the feet got tangled together. So many times you will see officials that make this a call that they simply got their feet tangled up. Neither one of them was doing it intentionally.
I don't think
right in the center of the screen, you'll see a good shot. You'll see him run side by side, and their feet. In fact, if anything, the offensive guy caused the contact. The official ignored it. Good call. Good job.
I don't think they could have caught it either way. Either one of them. That's another factor in their second down 10. Baruch, the man in motion. Here's Kelly in the crowd. He gets the man. That's Baruch. He came out of the backfield, and he picks up about 8 yards to the 23-yard line. The tackle is made by Nate Miller, number 23. And it'll be third down and short.
They'll be a little bit unhappy when they look at this in film, though, if they don't make this first down, because he had the first down, then tried to make extra yardage. Just crosses across the middle. Now he needs to straighten up and go straight upfield and make that first down. See, now he was above the line. Now he's behind it. That kept him from making the first down.
That's the what line?
The first down.
What you call it, though?
Scrimmage line.
Okay.
First down marker. He was above the first down marker, wound up behind it.
9:55 to go, no score. And isn't that a surprise with all that's going in? Sean Potts now goes in motion. And looky here, Harold carries the football, and his head is almost taken off by Mike McKibben, the outside linebacker, number 53. But he's got the first down out to the 29-yard line.
Well, you see Sam Harrell here now just goes straight, takes a little fake, comes straight forward up through there. It's a trap play. Called the watch the face mask there. It looked like there might have been a possible face mask at the end of the play with McKibben coming in there. 53 McKibben was in. It looked like he might have been face mask.
9:15 to go. First down from the 29. First quarter. Astrodome, Houston, Texas. Jim Kelly in control, but not completing passes. Is Kelly throwing out here and has his man, and that is Gerald McNeil. And McNeil is hit down almost immediately by Nate Miller. Now it is Miller, who did a rather good job last week on a pretty good receiver up at Portland. And the week before, they like their cornerbacks. They like their defense up there at Denver.
Well, it appears that they're going to try to counteract that 5 receivers by putting 6 defensive backs and just 1 linebacker in the game now.
A lot of trivia questions come out of this one. Baruch, the man in motion. Kelly was it out there, and bang! Soon as the man catches the ball, Verdun, he is put down by a couple of people. Trimble and Hemphill are there. 47 and 25, the 2 safeties. Well, I guess if you practice against the run and shoot offense because your team plays it, you know how to play a little bit better than other people.
Well, the thing that they did then was they put a little bit more pressure on him. It's a short underneath pass, and they really do a good job. Once he catches the ball, the defensive people react and close on it, keep it well under control. Good job by Trimble. There comes help from Hempfield. You see the defensive linemen, the hustle and pursuit that they're doing.
They're down from a 31-yard line. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, and the 5th wide receiver in motion to the right. Kelly in the pocket, fires across the middle, and knocked away from Baruch. Good play. And I'm not sure whether or not that was John Nevins, the outstanding rookie, number 59. There he is, out of Cal State Fullerton. They think he can play anywhere. Like the gorilla, he can play anywhere he wants. NFL, USFL.
They are really high on him. Says he does a great job on the special teams, and has been playing well out. He could have had interception if he'd hung on the ball.
Dale Walters to kick the ball away to David Martin. Nobody's really had a threat yet. There was one pass thrown by Kelly into the end zone, and a good defensive play by Delaney broke that up. Martin standing on his 30. Walters standing on his 16. Gets the kick away high. Fair catch called for by Martin, and then lets the ball go by him. Well, he picks it up and immediately goes out of bounds, because right there with him is Stan Blinka, a linebacker. Inside the 25, first quarter, there is no score. From the Astrodome, Houston, Texas, Jim Simpson at Miles. We begin the second quarter. ESPN Monday Night Football. Kelly back on first down. Kelly going for broke down the field, and it is dropped. Dropped down the field by Vince Corbell. Corbell had it, and he is a sprinter, great sprinter, and Rice has 10-1 speed in the 100 meters, and he ran up to the ball and then dropped it. Look at Kelly.
This ball is in the air about 65 yards. You think he doesn't have a strong arm? Look at him lay back and roll that, and Corbell outruns the coverage to get there, has it in his hands. It's a catchable ball. I'm sure Jim's reaction was one of such that he said, "Oh, you don't get those shots that often." Look at him, look at it, look at it, look at it. Oh, why me, Lord?
Well, I tell you what, he's had 14 touchdown passes already. That just would have been 15. We got a long way to go. Whoops, whoops. They almost jumped offside. No flag. Second down 10. Kelly just comes right back, and this time he feeds it out here. And this time, oh, they're getting some hits tonight. Barouse took a hit from Darrell Hemphill. And that should be the first down, and he is across the 25-yard line.
Take a look at Jim Kelly now, the form that he has, the way he sets up, the way he delivers. Keep looking around the field. Now he knows he's going backside. Look at his hand on the ball. That big hand, just good touch to lay it in there. Watches the ball all the way. End of the play. See Barouse catch it in with a perfect strike. Watch him turn now downfield now, but he hung on the ball and made the first down.
Hemphill either took himself out or was taken out. Carswell has replaced him for the moment. Hemphill being talked to on the sidelines by a trainer, I believe. First down, did they take too long?
I believe.
Nope, they did not.
I believe the right guard was in motion. Rosada.
He is the young man we told you that got out of Northern Illinois, native of Puerto Rico, who became a soft drink plant manager, then decided to play football again. And he's made the starting lineup of the Houston Gamblers, who, by the way, have won 10 straight regular season games extending back to last year. And in 16 of the last 21 regular season games, the Gamblers have scored 30 or more points. First and 15 from the 20. McNeil to the left and Corvo to the right. And Verdun in motion. Up and out here, and paying the price is Harrell. Or maybe it's David Martin who paid the price, weighing 180, trying to knock down Harrell, who weighs 225. Either way, after about a 6-yard gain, it'll be second down and 9 from the 26.
Well, I believe that
Martin
paid the price. Tell you what, small defensive back trying to tackle a big fullback, that really puts a lot of pressure on those shoulders, and then they got to raise those arms to get up into coverage, and you can still see he's favoring that arm.
Listed at 5'9", 180, does not look like he weighs that much, trying to move that arm around. Get the vibrations that are probably zinging up and down them.
Well, he's a good one, too. He's probably their best defensive cornerback.
Out of Villanova, back in the days when that school played football. Just gave it up. How about bringing it back? Is Kelly setting something up, or is he? No, he's just being pinned on the sidelines, and that is almost picked off. And there's a flag down.
No question what this one will be, Jim. The center, Frank Khalil, was way downfield. He was way down almost where the ball was thrown. All the officials.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 67. Loss him down. Third down.
He'll take that. Hemphill is the man that almost picked it off.
Yeah, he was really. Take a look at the left side of your screen, and you'll see him coming. See him way downfield. That's Khalil down there, about 8 or 9 yards downfield. There's no way that he wasn't going to be seen by the officials.
I'm glad. I know that Hemphill is glad you're talking bringing attention to Khalil, because he just simply had the ball in his hands and dropped it. Look at the other man that's too far downfield. Don't look at me drop the ball. Third down, 19 to go, 13 minutes to go in the first half, 7-0 Houston. On a short touchdown pass to Richard Johnson, the 14th of the year for Jim Kelly. Third and 19 seems like 3rd and 1 to Kelly. He goes deep anyway most of the time. And now, again, something has gone wrong in the line, because 7 seconds remain on the clock. Somebody moved again, and clapping it up is Reggie Singletary, saying it all is their fault.
False start. Offense, number 74.
That was Rick Kerr, left tackle. Well, now make it 3rd and 24. Kelly may not make this 3rd and 24, but if he does it so often, it makes it look so easy. Remember last week, what was it, against Oakland? There were 3 plays, and he had 110 yards and 2 touchdowns.
First 3 plays of the game.
And he had the ball. Third down, though, and 24. And the goal playing good defense tonight. Flags go down again. Kelly puts the ball up to Darrell Clark, and Clark may have the first down. But again, was it the offensive line that moved, or this time was it an overeager defensive line that moved? And Humphreys will tell us. And he's pointing toward them, so I'm sure they, meaning Houston, is going to take the play. Little pass to Darrell Clark, former University of Texas man. referee's still sorting things out here. Well, just wants confirmation, I think, that you want it way back there.
They did want to take the penalty, but interesting left, even with the long gain, they're coming in and still being forced to punt. They're about a half yard short of making the first down.
Fourth down.
Now, on 3rd and 5, in Denver territory, they went for it. Or 4th and 5. On 4th and about a half a yard, they may kick the ball away here. You just never know. They've got some upbacks in there that they might gamble. These are two gambling ball clubs. There's the snap back to Walters, and he kicks it away. And a good kick at that. Martin's the man going back deep. Wow. Gets up the sideline, has a wall along the sideline. There he goes. It's just a kicker, and down he goes. And lost the football, and it's still alive. Now, did it go out of bounds? Fumbled out of bounds. We'll let them sort it out. They are saying it belongs to Denver. Okay. Saying it belongs to Denver. The man who got up holding the ball was Troy Johnson.
Well, it almost looked like he was going to get nailed pretty good there on the coverage, but he ducked underneath it. Now there's a wall, and he comes down as he's coming downfield here. Let's see how he loses the ball coming down through here. He's making a lot of moves, carrying the ball out there loose, though. Look at there. Dale Walters just reached in there, touched the ball with his hand. Now the scramble for the ball. No one can get it, and apparently it's going to go out of bounds without anybody being in possession now.
That's what it is.
They retained possession of the ball before it got out of bounds.
That's what it is. That's a good call. 12:07 to go. 7-0 Houston. First half. And Denver's got the ball. Thus far, the two run-and-shoot offenses have not produced all the scoring we thought it would by this time, but you can't say it's been dull. First down, 45-yard line of Houston. Denver's got the ball. Vincent White in motion, and Evans back to throw. Got his man on the sidelines across the way, and that's a good catch for him. That's number 82, Lonnie Turner. Check that, 88, Mark Lewis.
Got a shot at Pete Caton working against Greg Fiesel. Now, Fiesel's big, strong. Caton comes back down to the inside. Well, he gets doubled up and gets knocked down, of course. Gets a lot of help in there by number 52, Tom Davis.
They have 7 wide receivers in the 80s and both clubs. And they are all out on pass patterns, and it is something to watch. Run and shoot. Again, Lewis, who caught that last ball wide to the right, or at least it was thrown toward him, is wide to the right. Here comes Harris to the left, and straight ahead goes Johnson, the big fullback. He's got the first down and more. Johnson may drag him into the end zone, and does. What a play for Johnson. A 26-yard run, and it's 7-6.
Strictly power running at his best. It's a trap play. You see the guard pull across, make it. Watch him break. There's one tackle he breaks there with Hawkins. Here he is. He's going to break another tackle. The third tackle he breaks. Here comes the fourth tackle. He carries Lewis all the way down into the end zone. That's what you call good, strong, hard power football.
6'1", 220 out of Arkansas State. Leading ball carrier on this squad, and he has shown us some power and some speed tonight. And now Spielman will try to tie this game up. And the Gold-Ed, as you indicated earlier, have to feel good. They're now moving the football and realize they can move the football. Bad snap from center, but they get the ball away, and it is good. 11:53 to go. We're in the second quarter. We're at the Astrodome in Houston, the first home game for the Gamblers, and at the moment, tie at 7. Almost cooled down a little bit. Their team has been tied at 7-all. There's Vince Evans. He moved his team only to be intercepted at the end of the first quarter. Now moved his team, and on the powerful running of Billy Johnson, has tied the game up at 7. And now Spielman will kick off. And Verdun is the deep man, and now they're moving them around back there, because back there with them also is Scott McGee and Calvin Eason, the defensive back. They put Eason in the middle, and it is Eason, the defensive back, who will bring it out from the end zone. Normally it is Verdun who does that. And flags fly everywhere. As Eason is making the great run back, the flags went down very early on before he broke away. Singletary and Nate Harris, number 42, brought him down. But it is a legal block way back downfield.
Receiving team number 68. First down.
Okay, that means that Lloyd Lewis draws the penalty, and the game was moved back. Billy Johnson, as we just said, at this end of the field just looks super, fast and powerful.
Well, here again, we see the touchdown from the ground level, Jim. Now, picture yourself 175, 80-pound defensive back having to try to tackle this 220-pounder. Now, watch him lift those legs up. See the high leg drive down there? Now, that means that if you're 175, you've got to put your head and shoulder into that. It's not a lot of fun.
The ball is inside the 8-yard line in this 7-all ball game. And again, Jim Kelly, as has Vince Evans on an occasion, starting deep in their own territory. He does have Darrell Clark in there as a running back, and he puts Verdun in motion to the left. Kelly from his own end zone. Look at that arm. Look at that arm. To Verdun. Trimble just couldn't hang in there. First down. Out near the 45-yard line.
Now watch him roll to his left, and again, rolling to your left for a right-handed quarterback, having to throw. Look at the strength that he puts on it. He throws that ball a long way. Of course, Verdun is down there, open, catches, stays in bounds. Another key to that, he's been getting nice protection. If he gets that protection, you're going to start seeing that scoreboard light up.
First down inside the 8, now first down at the 44 in one play. Touchdown pass in motion. Kelly throwing as he does all the time. Has the time. Across the middle and leads his man just a little bit too much. That was Richard Johnson. And Craig Walls, a linebacker, was trying to cover him. Now that is a difficult assignment, but that's what you face when you face a run-and-shoot offense.
That's exactly right. With all that speed in there, with the speed of those four receivers, that's what they look for, the so-called mismatch. But Craig Walls did an outstanding job of running with him.
We said we might be here till midnight, Ed, Central Time. This ball game is now about an hour old, and we have better than 11 minutes to go in the half.
Well, it's really interesting watching both teams now trying to feel each other out, try to start making adjustments, and I think you'll see them continually begin moving the ball a bit more.
Second down, 10. Kelly stands right in there. This time he's right on the button, and that is Joe McNeil. McNeil, first down, dragged down by Nate Miller, but not until he gets to the 25-yard line.
And you talk about catching the ball and turning the speed on. Here's one of the great things about these receivers. Watch him turn a jet after jet on here. He just simply outruns people down through the middle to get that extra yardage on that. A lot of times they'll make a short catch, turn it into a very long gainer.
They got a bundle of them to do that, and now we can see that David Martin, who was shaken up earlier, is shaken up on this play, and this time he comes off the field. The left cornerback is off the field and now just takes a seat. Barely got to the sidelines and then took a quick seat. It may have a cramp.
That's exactly what it looks like when you see him working that way. And of course, the run in these defensive backs, conditioning is going to show up in the fourth quarter. That's one of the reasons, Jim, both teams are using a lot of different personnel, secondary-wise and linebacker. They're rolling a lot of people in and out.
And they're using every wide receiver in the state. That is Verdun in motion this time. Kelly on first down. Kelly is going to be hit from behind. Hit from behind by Calvin Turner with a second fine individual standout defensive play of the night. Drags him down at the 32-yard line.
One of the problems from an offensive line standpoint with this little bit of rollout is that sometimes the quarterback gets too wide. You're working out there, and you see, if Kelly would have stepped up underneath, would have helped and made a little bit easier block for Rick Kerr. But by getting out too wide, Calvin Turner was able to run upfield. That's very tough from an offensive line standpoint.
A little bit less than 10 minutes to go. Second quarter, 7-7 is the score. Second down, 17 for Houston at the 32 of Denver. Kelly throws and rolls. He pays the price McNeil with a second fine catch. Cut down by Nate Miller. Not enough for the first down, although the way they're standing now, it just may be a half a yard short. If not the nose of the ball cutting that plane. And now we've got someone hurt back. It looks like Rick Kerr as you take a look at this again.
Well, watch him go up and catch this ball, though, in traffic. Knows he's going to get hit. Comes down right underneath it. Lands on his back.
Rick Kerr gets hurt in here somewhere, number 74. There he is. And there he goes down. he is the man that's hurt and down now.
Well, it looks like they fell from behind on his legs. Looks like Scott Boucher got tangled up with his legs from the backside.
Here's your man out of Carthage, the starting left tackle, 6'3", 270. And he is down, and time has been called. 9:32 left. He's up in the first half, 7-all. We'll be right back. While away, Rick Kerr got up and went off the field, and while away, they measured to see whether or not McNeil had a first down after he was cut down, and he missed by just inches. There's the time remaining. There's the score. We're in the first half.
Interesting, Jim. We're sitting here talking about that we haven't seen the action that we thought we might see. And I just glanced up at the scoreboard. The Gamblers have now 200 yards of offense already.
And 119 for the gold, and it's a tie at 7-all. Jim Kelly, look at the times. Now, 4.6 is about average speed for a player in the secondary, right? Or in the NFL for
speed is
back,
4.6, 4.65 is average
but
speed.
Look at everybody at 4.3.
There aren't two teams in football that have that many speed receivers on them.
McGee to the left, and the fans are starting to wave, and they're up on their feet as Johnson comes in motion on 3rd and short. Clark with the ball. He's got the first down. Flag goes down, and instead of a touchdown, it may come back and be a touchdown. Everybody is thrilled, meaning the Denver squad. They're waving it off, and instead of 3rd and a half a yard, they're going to go back 10 yards, I'm sure. So erase that touchdown, we believe, by Darrell Clark.
Offense, number 71.
And again, that went down just as Clark passed the line of scrimmage. Not a delayed flag at all.
Interesting enough, the replacement for Rick Kerr, Rob Taylor, was in there at the left tackle. The first play is in there. They break it. He's called for holding. Take a look at the left side of your screen. Number 71 was called for the hold. There he comes down to the inside, working with him.
That's a takedown. That's 3 points.
Well, looked like Nevins did a pretty good job of taking him down, but I think Nevins may have sold Dave Foley a little bit shot there.
So many people today are more sophisticated about their offensive line play, but look at that little thing. The injury, not debilitating, we don't think, for Kerr. Take him out for a play. Touchdown, call back because the man that fills in for him could not handle his man without holding. But now it's 3rd down, and about 10, and there he goes again. 89 clearance for Dan. Put down by Delaney, and move the sticks. It's a first down inside the 15.
Jim, if you like football, you have to like all this excitement that's going here. What now? Again, he has great protection. Look ahead, plenty of time to watch what's going on. Verdon's coming all the way across the field, simply outruns him coverage man. He has to get help from Jeff Delaney, the 5th defensive back that's in the game, to make the tackle.
First and goal to go from the 10-yard line. Time on the clock, 8:24 and counting. First half. The Gamblers not disappointing, their first home crowd of the season. Kelly almost 200 yards already. And he got off to a bad start. That's the amazing thing. Here's Kelly looking end zone, throwing end zone too high as he saw David Martin, who's back in the ball game, back there with him, and Corville was deep and out of the end zone.
Kelly's reaction is always interesting. He really has the personality for playing this position. Watch after he throws the ball. He knows maybe he just misfired a little bit, and he hits himself. He'll probably hit himself on the head. See? He knows that he just misfired a little bit. He's getting warmed up, though, Jim. He's going to move the ball.
Well, as you know, Ed, he never gets down on himself. He'll come back and do it again, and that's just the kind of confidence that Vince Evans is trying to manufacture in his brand new run and shoot offense that he's running from Mouse Davis. 7-all. Kelly can run if he wants, but he dumps it and to no one. He was looking for Richard Johnson at the goal line and overthrew him. And so now it's going to be 3rd down. And again, 2 more defensive backs come in. Another lineman comes in for Denver. They take out 2 linebackers and Bruce Thornton. Look at this. 197. That very release about 268 passing yards we've seen so far. McNeil wide to the left. Dan in motion. McGee on the right side. Kelly, look out. Gets the ball down to his running back, who just gets inside the 10-yard line. That's to Johnson. He's used this a few times.
Yeah, this is the run-and-shoot version of the old shuffle pass where he comes to the spins right.
See that?
Throws the lateral forward there. It's called a forward pass. If he drops it, it's just an incomplete pass.
He did the same kind of thing to his running back at the other end of the field. But now it is 4th down. It did not work, and so Toni Fritsch is in. And Fritsch is 2 for 3. All of his kicks have come between the 30 and 39. This is the first one that he has had of only 27 yards. This short this year. To break the tie, Myers to Hall, 27 yards out. He's got it. He has broken the tie. 7:08 to go. Houston leads on the 27-yard field goal by Toni Fritsch. The score is 10-7. Houston leads Denver. Back to the Astrodome for the kickoff after these messages. Dale Walters, who had difficulty kicking off last time, will try it the other way now. Lonnie Turner's the deepest man. Caleb is up. And this will be in the center of the field at least. And it is fielded down there by Lonnie Turner. He's got some speed, but not much room to work with. But Vince Evans will have good field position at about the 29-yard line with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the first half. Turner only 5'7". Here's your scoring drive. 9 plays, 82 yards, a little over 4 minutes. But the big play was from first down inside the 8, and they got the ball to the 45 in just one fell swoop. But they couldn't take it in as Kelly overthrew his man in the end zone. Then the shovel pass to Johnson did not work. Vincent White is the man in motion. And here's Vincent Evans, and he's going to get hit from behind. Looked like Diallo, who got him for a loss of about 3. Number 31, Kiki, out of the University of Texas. I wonder there, Ed Biles, if the crowd and the noise confused them, or whether it's just darn good defensive play, because they seem very tentative, even on the snap of the ball.
One of the things about fans indoors, when they start that wave, they can make a lot of sounds. If you're trying to do an audible at the line of scrimmage, it's very difficult for those wide receivers to hear them.
How did you communicate when you were coaching the Oilers on the sidelines when something like this was going on?
Well, you have hand signals to call things into it, and it's up to the people out there to relay it. Linebackers have to relay things out to the defensive backs.
Harris in motion on 2nd and 11. There's the handoff, and that's the touchdown maker, Johnson, and they're leveling him. Andy Hawkins, number 59, was the man who was right there, leading the crew. And Johnson has his shortest run of the night, just a couple of yards. 3rd down, and the wave goes on. 6:18 left in the half. As we said earlier, both clubs confident of scoring a lot of points tonight.
You see, shot of Miles Davis there now. He's shouting in to Vince Evans, trying to read his lips instead of sending him in with one of the other receivers.
3rd down, 8 to go. Mark Lewis wide to the left. Kelly Johnson to the left. Vincent White in motion. And they're going in as long as they've got the ball. Throwing deep here. And that ball is just beyond Kelly Johnson. Right with him was number 21, Adrian Simpson. And they'll kick it away. And I do believe that the fans have an idea of how to discombobulate Vince Evans. Get that wave going anytime they come to the line of scrimmage.
Good look at the whole secondary here now. You see running stride for stride. You see the other people coming across trying to give him help on the play. Adrian Simpson running, just didn't quite get the ball out there by another foot, and he might have had a completion.
Now it is 4th and long, and Brian Spielman will have to kick the ball away. 10-7 the score, 6:11 to go in the first half.
Jim, don't you think if they line up with Evans in there like this, that they trip between his legs?
Gerald McNeil trying to get to the outside. He gets back a little ways, but well played as they string him outside, and a flag goes down outside. And they're battling over there. We can see Neil Hope in on it, number 54 of Denver. Did not see with whom he was discussing things. There's Kiki Diallo, and there's Brian Spielman, who kicked the ball. And a flag is down on the far side. And it's liable to be that they roughed up McNeil after he got out of bounds with a late hit, which would give Houston a lot of added
Personal
territory.
foul. Unnecessary
That's what it
roughness. Late hit out of bounds. Defense number 56.
Okay.
First down.
They called it on Terry Urban.
See if we can catch it at the end of the play. McNeil coming up downfield. Now he's out of bounds now. Well, once he goes beyond that white restraining line, it's a long way for someone to make a tackle. You get the feeling that there's a little bad blood between these teams, Jim?
5:58 to go, first half. It's 10-7, Houston. And the Gamblers have the ball on the Denver 41-yard. Monday Night Football on ESPN. First down, the Gamblers. They lead 10-7 on the 41-yard line of Denver. Kelly back to throw again. And right across the middle. That's the favorite pattern for Richard Johnson. He's got a first down at the 24-yard line. And again, Delaney was putting a little to him there along with Craig Walls. You know, there was a lot of controversy when Mouse Davis tried to leave Houston and go up to Denver. And to talk to the players and the coaches, normally said nothing to it. The players are here to play the game. Maybe that is so, but something else is going on out there if that's not the reason.
You don't really believe that. All that cool talk we were getting, Jim. You have too much experience to believe that.
That's right. From the 24-yard line. Kelly. No pressure. Oh, he threw right past his man there. Bourdain coming across the middle. Pat Ogren was the man trying to get to Kelly. Ogren, who played with the Redskins during a couple of their Super Bowl years, and Kelly is shaking off his right hand. He'll have to be broken before he even gets a grimace on his face, but he's got one there now. It stings.
Well, that really smarts when he stepped up, and I'm sure when he delivered the ball, as he followed through, he probably hit a helmet of one of the defensive linemen or someone rushed in front of him. And anyone who's played quarterback can tell you that really smarts for a few seconds.
Many times you break a finger. Break a finger. Second down and 10 from the 24. Johnson's having a good night. He's in motion now. Kelly fakes, puts it out there, and the ball is up for grabs and just bounding around. And I guess they were trying to get the ball quickly to Johnson. There were so many men down on the carpet, and the ball went down too. I'm not quite sure.
Well, he was faking a screen to Clark to his right. He wanted to fake that screen and then come back and throw a screen to Johnson on the other side. Of course, Denver has looked at some of these plays using the run and shoot, and they reacted and played the opposite screen perfectly.
Third down and 10, less than 5 minutes to go in the first half. Houston by 3, trying to go up here. They'll go on fourth down. They always do. I mean, that's the way they are. Look out, and that, and they're going to throw a flag or not. And McNeil can't believe it. Now, the man was just simply running across the end zone. He was bumped into, that I do know. I think it was Trimble that ran right into him running along the end zone line. And I think he's got a call here.
I think it's a good call by the official. Let's see what it looks like from the end zone shot. He throws it now. McNeil is going for the ball. You're allowed to play the ball. He comes across, plays the ball. Well, that's pretty close.
That's what I'm saying. Now, see, you hear the boos of the crowd because they see on the screen, the big screen here in the Astrodome, the play. And they agree it was a bad call. It's fourth down, and apparently they're not going to go for it. A 42-yard field goal attempt by Toni Fritsch. 42 yards out. Fritsch has got a squiggly kick up, but it squiggles through. It squiggles through. And with 4:38 to go, they feel they should have had a touchdown, but they still have the lead of 13-7. McNeil, I think he had reason to get upset about this. Ball was off to his right, but look what Trimble does to him as he goes for the ball.
Well, you'll be the judge. Receiver has the right to the ball. Defensive back has the right to the ball. Comes over the top. Looked like there was a lot of contact. I think it should have been called interference.
It was not. McNeil thought it should have been. 4:38 to go. Toni Fritsch has added his second field goal of the night. His fifth of the year. It is his longest of the year. And now they will kick off to Denver. First half. Did you see what happened over the weekend? Baltimore really shut down Doug Flutie 29-9. Oakland took the measure of Jacksonville. Ed Luther threw 3 touchdown passes, but had some interceptions in the late going. Oakland beat them 42-36. Birmingham 34-19 over Memphis. The Stallions are coming on. And Gary Anderson on Saturday had a great day, 162 yards rushing the ball. Los Angeles won its first game of the year, and Portland handed Orlando its fourth loss of the year. That's what happened over the weekend. This wraps up this weekend's, long weekend's duty. Now there's Walters with another bounding kick, and they should let it go out of bounds. And Turner does. So a kick again from the 35-yard line, and if you can't keep it in play this time, they again can take it at the 40. I think that Jack Pardee's crew needs a kickoff man. Fritsch can't get it deep, and Walters is having a terrible night. Here's what Marino did in his first 3 games of 1984. 63 of 90, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. First 3 years of 85, Kelly is 83 of 125 for about 500 more yards, 3 more touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. That's quite a ratio there, Ed. 13 TDs and only 2 interceptions. Make it now 14 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions.
Well, that's a tremendous ratio by both those quarterbacks. Whenever you have that many more touchdowns versus your interceptions, most good quarterbacks will wind up with almost a 50-50% in touchdowns and interceptions.
Now off the tee again, Dale Walters, who has been hired as a punter, but is being forced to kick off, will kick off. Now that is his best, and that may go out of bounds, and so they're going to back at the 40. Now he has not, but on one occasion in 5 tries, gotten the ball downfield. But again, he's being asked to kick off. He's been hired as a punter, and they're going to take it to the 40-yard line. We said we haven't seen it yet. We've seen it twice in this first half tonight.
It's an interesting rule. I think it's a good rule. I think it helps speed up the game rather than keep penalizing people, keep it going on, and it puts a premium on kicking the ball off because now Denver is starting in excellent field position.
Denver starting from the 40-yard line. They are down by 6 on the strength of 2 Toni Fritsch field goals. There's been a touchdown pass, Kelly to Johnson, and Billy Johnson ran one in for Denver. Harris, the man in motion. Evans, good protection, gets the ball off, and a good catch over here by number 82, Lonnie Turner. Check that, 87, Kelly Johnson. Well, I'm having a difficult time. When they turn in, and the whole Denver bench is standing on the sidelines, and they run into the sideline, I'm trying to figure out 82, 87, 88, 89. Who is it? In that case, it's Kelly Johnson.
Too many receivers in the game, Jim.
Oh.
They're doing a good job right now. June Jones and Mouse Davis are trying to adjust during the game for what the gamblers are attempting to do defensively. They're really beginning to isolate those wide receivers.
Only the offensive line, or defensive line rather, of Denver is sitting down. Everybody else is standing up on the sideline. They give the ball to Johnson again. He's got some power, and he took a big hit from Andy Hawkins as he got through the line of scrimmage. But he gets about an 8-yard gain, second down and maybe 3, but perhaps only 2. Watch this hit by Hawkins.
Well, there's initial good block. This is that sprint out draw. Now, there's good initial blocking in there. Hawkins comes down and makes a tackle. Watch Jose Taylor come across 93 and put that hit on his face right at the end of the play.
Second down and short. Let's call it 3 from the 37-yard line. It's Evans looking across the middle, has his man. That is Mark Lewis, and Mark Lewis has got a first down. And now, for the first time in their history, Houston finds the run-and-shoot offense difficult to defense. It is usually the gamblers are handing it out. Tonight they're getting a dose of their own medicine. It's tough.
Just a little crossing pattern. The outside receiver coming inside, the inside receiver going outside. Mark Lewis hangs on the ball, pays for it by getting hit pretty hard, but it's another first down.
I wonder if Tiger Ellison is watching us down in Florida. He wrote that book in 1965 called The Run-and-Shoot Offense, the Offense of the Future. And as we said at the beginning of the show, he republished it for the run-and-shoot offense, the now offense, because these teams are now using it and very effectively. There's Evans across the middle again, asking a little much of Leonard Harris to come across the middle. Harris only 185 pounds. Mike Mitchell put him down. And that should be a first down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal to go for Denver, but now they're moving the ball back. Now they're pointing the other way, and they're going the other way. Now they put it, should be first and...
No, I think the one official just thought thought there was an incomplete pass. All the other officials had marked it as a completed pass. The officials started to bring it back to line of scrimmage. They recognized that it was a completed pass.
Evans is 9 for 17, 115 yards, looking to tie up or go ahead, coming down on the 2-minute mark of the first half. Evans, he forced the pass down here before. Doesn't want to do that again. Better throw it out of bounds if he can't do anything, but he's going to run. He's a good runner and gets inside the 5. They'll mark it at the 3. Jose Taylor ran him out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And again, there's a little heated action between the offensive and defensive line.
Well, the thing is, great athletes you're looking at here. Now, this offense is suited for business. Watch him scramble, turn it on. He turns a broken play into a 4 or 5-yard gain, going down that sideline, almost got it all the way in the end zone.
Ed, we were talking about how Pete Caton, remarkably quick, the good defensive end of Houston, would do against Big Greg Fiesel, listed at 285 and weighs over 300. I don't know how he's doing. He hasn't sacked yet, but we just saw a little activity between the two after the play was over.
Well, I think they're playing both their defensive ends a little bit in the soft position and trying to let the tackles do all the movement.
Second down, goal to go. And now, what happened? All kinds. There's still 5 seconds on the clock, so they had to be moving the offensive line again. And that's what it is. Second and goal to go from the 3, and that takes it back to the 8.
And let me follow up on what I said, Jim. The Gamblers' defensive ends are trying to play a little bit soft, looking for the screens, looking for the draws, and the running plays. They're trying to take those 2 inside tackles and do a lot of movement with them. And I'm sure Kate might be a little frustrated with this type of thinking.
Denver's third penalty, 25 yards. Second down from the 8. Very close to the 2-minute mark. Evans, in pressure, throws. The ball is up in the air. Caught by number 88, Mark Lewis. Went off the hands of a defender, I think it was Rockmore, number 38, and into the hands, and you'll take him any way you can get him. It's a tie game.
Any way you can get him. There's always a little bit of luck involved in football. This was a pass that could have been intercepted by Rockmore. Bounces off his fingertips right there. He's got it in his hands, bounces off his fingertips into the receiver, into the end zone for 7 points.
With 1:58 to go, Spielman will try to put Denver ahead for the first time, and of course Houston will get the ball one more time at least with less than 2 minutes to go. It is 13-all at the moment. Again, gets the ball down, the ball is up, and the ball is good, and it is 14-7. And now they'll take their 2-minute warning. There you are. That is Mark Lewis on the left and Vince Evans on the right, and it's 14-13 Denver. 400 yards of offense thus far in this first half, and we still have time to go. Evans has thrown for 123. Kelly, who had 200 yards not so long ago, has a total of 214. As Tom Mees told you, he'll be back at halftime with that minute halftime report, so stay tuned with us for all USFL action and Tom's minute halftime. You're looking at me. What do you want to say?
No, I was just looking at looking at the excitement of what's going on and the way this game is going to build into a tremendous second half.
Spielman kicks off, and Verdun is circling under it. Nope, he'll let the man on the other side, and that'll be Calvin Eason take the ball. And Eason, who had the great run back, only to have a holding penalty called against him, gets out to the 29-yard line. Well, let's see what happened with Evans with a little help from Rockmore.
Well, it's a ground-level shot of you. See him rolling out to his right. And, of course, the luck of the bounce once in a while helps. He delivers it hard. Rockmore should have had an interception right there. Bounced off his hands into Lewis's hands for the touchdown.
Is that what they call manna from above?
That's what you call a great break.
Oh. It is 14-13, 1:53 to go. Offside on the kickoff.
Re-kicked after
and they're going to kick it again. Okay, this is interesting. They got the ball nearly at the 30-yard line. Spielman has got a much better leg, obviously. than has Walters as far as kicking off is concerned. Let's see, remembering they would have had the ball almost at the 30. They take the 5-yard penalty, and let's just see what happens here. Here's your scoring drive, 240, 60 yards with the final 8 yards from Lewis to Evans, or Evans from Lewis.
The gamblers thinking on that, Jim, I would feel simply is that they have had great returns from their kickoff people. Again, they have that speed back there. This gives them another opportunity to the possibility of making a long breakaway kickoff.
Verdun has taken one 94 yards for a score already this year. And he is setting himself up at about the 8-yard line. Spielman wants his leg this time. Lots of it.
Shows you not to come from a big school, Capital University in
Ohio. Oh, there, it's driving him back, and he touched the ball, and it'll go out of the end zone, so they lost 8 yards on the play. Went from the 28 back to the 20. That's a gamble by the gamblers that did not pay off.
Exactly right. Spielman really put a good leg into it.
Well, first down from the 20-yard line, and Jim Kelly, last minute, talked by his offensive coordinator, and here he comes. And all of the talking that we've done in this 14-13 game, Los Angeles defensed Houston very well for 3 quarters, and then the wheels came off in the last 10 minutes of the first game. No one else has come close to defensing Houston as well as Denver has in this first half so far tonight. Kelly first down from the 20, sending Verdun in motion. Going downfield, and it is intercepted by Delaney inside the 20. Delaney puts his shoulder down and goes out of bounds, and with 1:42 to go, there's the turnover. Only the 3rd interception all year by Kelly, who has 14 touchdown passes, and it's first down inside the 20-yard line at the 16.
Delaney just really sat back there, made a good move, break on the ball, stepped up in front of Johnson and caught it. Of course, now he gets as much yard as he can running the ball, looking to get out of bounds as he gets over here. They're going to wind up with great field position and opportunity to put more points. Take a look at the secondary now. You see him in some combination coverages over there, sitting back in a lot of zone, though. He really threw into a lot of trouble. Delaney was there, linebacker was there.
Here's where Evans wants to be cool. He's got all the time in the world and an outstanding field goal kicker, so he gives it to Billy Johnson. Johnson's got the speed to get outside, and does. Johnson down inside the 5-yard line and has a first and goal to go. Billy Johnson. Andy Hawkins wrestled with him, but Johnson got the first down. First and goal to go, 1:34 to go. And Kelly had better get it cranked up in the second half, because Vince Evans and company have found the handle. Funny how they said today, we use the run more and know when to use it more, meaning that's what Denver was saying.
Really mixing the ground game up and mixing it in with the passing game. They've got the gamblers off balance.
Mark Lewis, who's caught the touchdown pass from Evans wide to the right. Vincent White in motion. Evans, he can't get rid of it, throw it out of bounds. He's not going to throw it out of bounds and drop the ball, but they say his arm was in motion. I cannot believe it. He just didn't wing the ball into the upper seats.
It's always amazing, Jim. As a coach, you go crazy with that. You stand aside and they throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. For some reason, they just occasionally don't put that ball away.
First down at the 3-yard line, and he held on to the ball. At the last moment, he tried to get rid of it.
Well, it was supposed to be a quick pass. Now he comes off the quick pass, still looking downfield to get rid of the ball. There's no one open. Rather than evidently risk throwing it away, he just eats the ball.
The ball went out of his hands after going out of bounds. Well, the ball is on the 15-yard line, still within touchdown range, still within field goal range, but what a great opportunity. Instead of being second down from the 15, it could have been second down from the 3. Now, this is what is happening. Houston is 3-0. If Denver does pull off this upset tonight, and they are underdogs by better than 2 touchdowns, each would be 3-1. Oakland would be in second, 2-1-1. If Denver loses, they drop right past Oakland, down into a tie with Arizona and Portland. The wave has started again, trying to discombobulate Evans and company. Second down from the 15. It's Evans looking, running. He's got running room. twice. They are in chip shot range for the field goal.
That was a touchdown-saving block, you might say, by Hawkins. He didn't tackle him. He just threw his body across him in the nature of a roll block.
Evans showed he could run not only with the blitz, ran with the Bears, likes to run the ball. And at USC, of course, that was his bag there.
Great athletic ability.
Mark Lewis wide to the right. White in motion to the right. Third down. Looking. Does not get the ball away. Twice he's been sacked. This time by Van Hughes. 17 seconds to go. That should bring on Spielman.
Here he gets shot from ground level now. He's rolling out to his right. No one open. Good coverage by the defensive backs. He's scrambling around. Van Hughes and Lloyd Lewis in on top of him. Van Hughes gets a tackle.
The Denver offense walking despondently off the field, taking off their helmets. They had a first down at the 3-yard line, and now they're going to get a field goal, they hope, with the line of scrimmage at the 13-yard line, as Evans has been sacked 3 times tonight.
One thing about the sacks, though, Mouse Davis really doesn't get too concerned about the sacks because he feels that's just the same as like a loss on a running play. This was a big defensive series by the Gamblers' defense holding this to a field goal attempt.
Spielman is 0 for 1 in a 30 to 39-yard range, and this will be 31 yards. They come away with nothing, a big victory for Houston. 31 yards out, Spielman gets the ball up, and it is no good. They come away with nothing. Incredible.
Jim, one interesting thing there. He was kicking off of the dirt. He was not kicking off of the AstroTurf. And that is a different approach that the kicker has to take. That's that pitcher's mound area. Sometimes you slide when you do that.
I agree. That's why he missed, but let's watch it. But the big thing is that they didn't get any points when they first down at the 3.
Take a look at it now. Watch him plant that front left foot there. Just didn't quite have the same feeling that he normally has. Pushed it out to the right. Hit it a little bit back. He knew as soon as he hit that he missed it.
Now it's 14-13 Denver, but remember, Evans forced the ball into crowded coverage at the goal line in the first quarter. At the end of that, and now here has been sacked twice, and they come away with nothing after an interception, led to a first down at the 3. Now Kelly will try to stun him if he can, handing the ball to Clark, and Clark's going to run it out. Apparently they just want to get out of here rather than put the ball up in the air and have something bad happen again. 3-2, they're just glad to get, everybody's glad to get out of here. The half is over after better than an hour and a half of excitement, but not that many points. Denver has the lead 14-13. And remember, the Men in Halftime Report is coming up in just a moment with Tom Mees, and then we'll be back with the second half of this game. Again, Denver 14, Houston 13. 1 minute. Come back. Roy Johnson gets back out to fairly good field position across the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line. Sean Potts puts him down, and now Vince Evans will come out again. The veteran from USC, 7 years with the Chicago Bears. Give you an idea of Vince Evans. Against Oakland in his first game using the run-and-shoot offense, completed 31% of his passes. Then when they upset Birmingham, 50%. Then when they beat Portland, 53%. And he's right around the 50% mark right now tonight, 11 of 23, slightly below it, 137 yards.
Well, Mouse really feels that the Denver Gold football team is further along with 3 games with this offense than Houston was a year ago at the end of 3 games.
And they're challenging for the Western Conference lead tonight. Evans throws, has a man open on the far side, and it was almost picked off instead. He was aiming for Mark Lewis, and it looked as though Mike Mitchell, nope, that's Dennis DeVaughn coming back. He almost picked it off. Former Philadelphia Eagle.
Well, he really had to throw that ball away. Here we see the end of DeVaughn was in good position with him. He had to throw the ball a long way. Gives that defensive back the opportunity to cover a lot of ground closing.
Second down from the 32-yard line. Well, we haven't seen the fireworks. We've seen a lot of yardage, a lot of exciting plays. 17-16 the score. The game is still on the field with a lot of time left. again they try that side to Lewis, and they say he's out of bounds. One time they overthrew and it was almost picked off by Dennis DeVaughn. This time Lewis comes down out of bounds. And DeVaughn is the man on him again.
Well, we got to look good shot or see whether he's in or out. There comes the pass. He's up in the air. Out of bounds. Foot hit lands on line. Again, both officials right on the play. Good call.
DeVaughn is over there, over Mike Mitchell. Look out to Evans. Going to go down. Lost the football. And it's still up for grabs. Still up for grabs. Nobody can get it but Houston. Nobody really fell on the ball. They tried to just kind of pick it up and go along with it. Turnover. Tons of people on the field. Damon Crosby, I think, is the man who finally came up with it. Turnover at the 40-yard line.
There we go. Now, Evans is almost trapped by Caton right here. He gets away from that, escapes from that, now decides to run this, knocks the ball loose. Now it becomes button. Who's got the button as it's rolling around down there? Nobody can come up with it. Keeps bouncing around. Finally, Cleveland Crosby jumps in there and gets the football.
Well, now can Houston capitalize? Kelly will go up top and deep as he normally does. All the way down to the end zone. Touchdown to McNeil. 15th touchdown pass for Kelly this year. McNeil has caught his second. And Houston goes ahead. All set up by the fumble by Vince Evans. And the good play of Jim Kelly and John McNeil.
We kept saying, Jim, when's the fireworks going to go off? It's going off in the Astrodome now.
Outstanding throw. And McNeil had his man beat by a ton. Vince Evans, really, he's got time to rectify things, but he could look at himself for some plays tonight, including that fumble where he's carrying the ball well away from his body.
And I really think Jim Kelly needed that one for his own confidence because he really wasn't playing a good ball game. He might get cranked up now.
Both men looking for a confidence builder. Kelly got his. Here's Toni Fritsch with Myers to hold. Myers, the back that played 10 years with the Saints. Fritsch puts the ball up. He doesn't miss those. And it's 23-17. 3:56 to go. Well, have we heated up or not? Look at Kelly along the sidelines as Ed talks about Kelly on the field.
Here's the end zone of it. Look at he just puts that ball up the air. McNeil simply running down the sideline, outruns, very easily outruns 23. Miller, the defensive back, catches it over his shoulder. That's the kind of plays that the Houston Gamblers have been making all year long. We've got another angle of it here now from the other side. Kelly delivers off that front foot, really fires the ball. Look at that tight spiral. And again, look at the ball come right down. Now he concentrates all the way in. That time McNeil makes sure he looked that ball all the way into his hands because he knew he was wide open.
Now, Walters to kick it off again. Denver has stopped themselves more than Houston has stopped them. 3 times, remembering, inside the 15. Out of 3 times in the first down, that came away 3 points. And then Evans fumbling out here to give them the ball at the 40-yard line and allow them to set up that 40-yard touchdown pass to McNeil on the first play after the fumble recovery by Cleveland Crosby.
Well, that's McNeil, the shot we saw on the sideline there. He lists himself as 140 pounds, but I bet you he doesn't weigh 140 pounds. Communication majors, and he does love to talk to the press.
Might be up here one day. Watch yourself.
No, he has that ability. He really does.
I got some good news for you. He's only 22. He'll play a long while. Walters kicking off much better in this half. And there's a little confusion there. But it is picked up by Caleb. And Caleb goes down to the 15-yard line. Now, Kelly is talking along the sidelines, but that's not the story. The story, as you look at his stats, is on the field right now where Vince Evans comes out and tries to do the same kind of thing. Hi, Jim. You think he knows that camera's there?
Well, he's talking to John Jenkins, the offensive coordinator. Of course, we see Vince Evans with his statistic. Jim, of course, better statistics, but Evans' football team is in the game. They're only 6 points down. Touchdown, they go ahead.
Oh, we've got 18 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the game. First down from the 15. Leonard Harris, the man in motion. And they give it to Billy Johnson, and it's not there this time. A couple of yards and a couple of yards only. It looked like Cleveland Crosby's down at the bottom there. Again, Seif number 78 gets up. Yes, it is.
Yes, that's him, and that's again that we've been talking about the soft play of those defensive ends, and that's their assignment.
Who is down, though?
About rushing.
Who is down, though, Ed?
Johnson, I believe. That's the running back for Denver.
He is the man who scored a touchdown. He is a man that's been averaging better than 8 yards a carry, a very integral part of that offense, and he is down.
Well, they have Todd Gerhardt, who has played an awful lot on the sidelines. It'll come in and replace him. Let's just hope there's nothing serious, though.
Saturday night, we'll be down in Tempe, Arizona. The Los Angeles Express, they just won their first game. Arizona Outlaws lost the game when Gary Anderson went wild for Tampa Bay. And they'll hook up live Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, here's Evans handing off to Billy Johnson. Let's see if we can see what happens.
Let's see what happens. He turns up to go upfield. There's Cleveland Crosby and Kiki Diallo coming in from behind. Goes down. Looks like he landed on Crosby, but may have rolled over on that shoulder. Coming off the field, it's just very difficult to see. It looks like he might have
his left leg.
Looks like it's a left knee situation, but
they put a little pressure on it, a little bit more, but we may have seen the last of Billy Johnson for tonight, and if that's the case, we hope it is only for the night. He will be missed. He is big, he is strong, he is good out of Arkansas State, and that means that Todd Gerhardt will be going in. Of course, he does have the running back in Todd Gerhardt out of Cal State Fullerton. Evans, he's going to run for not much. Looking downfield, if you wonder why he didn't throw the ball, there are 2 receivers downfield and 3 defensive backs. Evans had no one to throw that ball to.
That's what that was. That's what the coaches call a coverage sack. People downfield were all covered. Vince goes back. Now, you see he has a decent amount of time. He rolls out to his right, comes back, works a little bit to the left, still looking downfield. Nobody open. Now he knows he has to run. And of course, Kiki Diallo gets coverage, and as Jim said, there was good coverage downfield. Takes a while for the defensive line to get there. Here we'll get a look at what's going on downfield. See him still running around looking. Coverage is great downfield. Not that much pressure. Back to live, Jim.
The throw over there and almost intercepted. White was the intended receiver. And Will Lewis is upset. Almost had his second interception of this year. And it's 4th down. And that time, the Denver Gold, after giving up a touchdown, don't get a first down and may have lost Billy Johnson for at least the game.
And the gamblers should certainly come out of this in pretty good field position.
And don't you think the crowd and the gamblers, the players and the coaching staff don't think that this game has turned?
This is the type of situation where you sometimes see a punt return. McNeil back there. Special teams fired up.
Spielman to kick the ball away. High, end over end. McNeil's not calling for the fair catch. And he's not going anywhere. Back to the 50-yard line he goes, where it is first down. 2:10 left, 3rd quarter. Denver now down by 6 after having led by 1 and then by 4. And let's see if we are reading this right, if the momentum has indeed turned, or whether the Denver defense holds them and allows Evans much better field position and another chance.
That shot of Jack Pardee on the sideline. He's telling the team, we're in a crucial situation. Keep the pressure on him. We've got the ball. Let's get some points out of this.
McNeil just now coming on the field. Mouse Davis on the other side. His run and shoot offense, the ideas are the same, the X's and the O's are the same, but it has to take the players to execute them. Rodan, the man in motion. And here coming this way is Johnson, running the football and getting the first down. Richard Johnson, they sent Darrell Clark one way, faked to him, gave to Johnson the other way, and he gets 11 yards of the first down. They're down to the 39.
That's the same slot back reverse that Denver ran. See him coming out, Kelly coming out to his left, just hands off to Johnson on the slot back reverse. And with his speed, he simply outruns the linebacker down through there and makes a first down. 22, Richard Johnson.
You can just feel Kelly and company getting strong and strong. This defense now of Denver's on the field a long time in this half. Kelly throws out, has his man across the way. That's Johnson again. Not the first down, but inside the 35-yard line. Nate Harris rolls him out of bounds. It'll be second down and about 3. Crowd is coming alive. Their team did not perform the way they wanted them to. And indeed, left the field at the half 14-7 and shell-shocked because they had a chance to go up by the score of 20-7. Intercepted Delaney for the third time tonight, and he's going to go a distance. Run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. I tell you, Jeff Delaney personally has tried to turn this ball game around. Twice he's given the ball inside the 20. Once at the 16. Once at the 3 on interceptions. They came away with only 3 points out of those 2. Now for the third time he's intercepted, and they have got the ball at the 44-yard line.
Well, they call this the robber position for Delaney to sit back there and look around, look for the interception, play the pattern. He certainly has been a robber, timed it up perfectly. Now he once again is going to give his team great field position. Looking for Dan running down from behind over the speed that those receivers have.
Now let us see if the Denver run and shoot offense can take advantage here. Look. Everybody moving the whole left side. Looked like Greg Fiesel, anticipating the rush of Pete Caton, was trying to get to him first. They keep coming up with those big mistakes.
Number 75. Still first down.
Well, it is a team trying to learn a brand new offense, and this is just game 4. Not alibiing for you or them, just telling you the facts of life. Some of it is for that reason, and others, they've just made mistakes.
Well, I think they've made mistakes, but I think as the season wears on, you're going to see this football team put a lot of points on the scoreboard, and they're going to be in this Western Conference division all the way.
23-17, should they pull this out, they'd be in a flat-out tie with Houston. Houston trying to win its 4th in a row. First and 15 from midfield. Evans sets up and throws, and this one is dropped by Kelly Johnson. And he would like to keep right on up the ramp for a while and then sneak back out.
Well, that was the big concern of Mouse Davis, was the drop passes that they've had, and that just simply was that, a drop pass. They had him isolated on the defensive back to that side. The pass was there. You have to look it all the way in and catch it.
Ed Biles, I want to tell you something. You will see in your picture here one of these times when they come out of the huddle, if not before, Billy Johnson in the game, number 34. So he is okay.
Well, that's
or he's
great.
playing with pain, but he is in the game. And that's a big plus for the Denver Gold.
You don't like to see anyone get hurt.
Second down, 15. Evans going to get rid of it and cannot. Van Hughes makes the sack. And now it is third down and 25.
Take a look at the defensive line here. Now watch Van Hughes up there in the middle of the picture, just working, continuing effort. Finally gets in there, no place for Evans to go. Big sack by the youngster out of Southwest Texas. And he's enjoying it.
1 minute, 8 seconds to go, third quarter, 23-17, and the Gold has not been able to do much here since their last score, which was a field goal by Spielman. And that was in the third quarter early. Since then it has been all Houston. Evans has the time, and he's throwing to a bunch of people. Leonard Harris was the man there. DeVaughn was back with him, along with 3 or 4 other backs. Harris was the only man in that vicinity.
Well, that's a situation that defensive backs love to be in. They're third and 25 and sitting back there in zone coverage. All they have to do is play the ball, go up and try to intercept it. He just was unable to hold on to it.
Well, it's fourth down. They get nothing, and they're trying to punt in a hurry here. The Houston defense was not ready. Now they're in position on the field.
They've got 12 men on the field.
Let's see if they throw a flag. You caught it. Did anybody else catch it? McNeil catches the fair catch, and if they had 12 men on the field, Ed Biles is the only one that knows it, because no flag is down on the field. said, but I did not count them.
Well, I was counting them, and one of the special teams coach of the Houston Gamblers was going crazy on the sideline trying to yell for the 12th man to get off the field. Now, that is one of the officials' responsibility. One of the officials out there is responsible for counting those players, and maybe the confusion of the fast setup. He was trying to work to get himself in position.
From the 31-yard line, the Gamblers have got away with one. They lead by 6 in the last moments of the third quarter. Rodan, the man in motion. And there they go for McNeil again, and he's got it again at the 34-yard line. Nate Miller, again, the man that he beat. Beat him for the touchdown, beat him for that first down. And don't forget Jim Kelly putting it right on the mark.
Well, take a look at McNeil. Now he's up in a bump and run position. You talk about 4-3 speed. He simply just outruns Miller. Miller's running for his life, trying to catch up. Look at the concentration by Gerald McNeil, looking the ball all the way in, though. Now watch the perfect pass, and watch him look the pass all the way into his hands. Just a great job by Kelly and McNeil.
First down from a 34-yard line. That's Johnson in motion. And look at this, Rodan out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds. About 4 seconds to go, out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Taken up by Ernie Carswell. And here comes Houston, up by 6 and on the move. And McNeil and Kelly have been the catalysts.
And in Jack Pardee's mind on that sideline, he's saying, let's come away with this with some points, because even if it's a field goal, it puts us with a 9-point spread, and there's no 9-point plays in football.
From the 27-yard line. Perhaps the last play of the third quarter. Clark does not get the first down. Mike Tolliver jumped on him as the third quarter ends, and it ends with Houston out in front by the score of 23-17 and looking good. We begin the final quarter. Houston up by 6. Big play, 3rd and 4. But here inside the 30, you might think if they don't make it, they would still go for it, barring a long sack. So confident they are now, I would believe, that they got things going. Here's Kelly. Kelly throws, and there's Rodan. He's got the first down easy, and he may have a lot more than that. First down at the 10-yard line. Clarence Rodan, put down by Hemphill and Trimble, have a first and about goal to go, and they try to mix it up a little bit there. And they're still trying to. Kelly is down there trying to get in on it. That's the last man you want thrown out of the ball game. They're having to restrain him. He still wants to get in on it. Come on, Jim. Get on with the game.
Well, he's down there fighting for his receiver because he knows what those receivers do. Take a look at this play now. Rodan makes a great adjustment within the pad. They're all running out, but Jim, there's no one there now. Rodan all of a sudden turns and runs back to the inside. That's how he gets himself open on it. Now he runs downfield with his speed. He's trying to outrun people, but good job by Hempfield and closing on him with Trimble.
Well, what did they do? I see what Hemphill was going to do. Bang! That's what he did, and that's why Kelly came down the field.
Most players don't like to be hit in the face, Jim.
Most people. First down from the 10.
Look at that stat.
Houston looking good. Denver having trouble on offense. And Houston's finally, here's in the end zone, and there it is. That's a touchdown. Won't do any good there. Beat his man. Kelly throws for the touchdown, and coming away with it is Corville. His third of the year. Right over Lovell. 10-yard touchdown pass.
The key to this play is Corville gave himself plenty of room down in the end zone. He worked to the inside. Now he gave himself room to run out to that corner. Lovell got turned around. Of course, he didn't see the ball. Had no chance to make it. The other defensive backs have to yell ball, ball, ball so they can turn and give himself some help. And Corville did an excellent job of allowing himself room to work in the end zone.
Third touchdown pass of the night for Jim Kelly, who now has 16 on the year. And I do believe they're going to go for 2.
Go for 2.
29-17. They're usually rather successful at this. Gamblers. And now time has been called by whom? It's been called by Denver.
Well, I'm sure Denver had their
figuring this one out. Back in a moment, 29-17. In there to the field goal defense. That's why they called timeout, as Ed pointed out, ball away, and they'll go for the 2 points. Kelly looking back across the middle, and the ball is caught, but short, and then dropped. So it is no good. Dan is the man that they threw to, so the score remains 29-17.
Here we see the ground level shot of this last touchdown. Kelly simply goes out, lays it over the shoulder. Good concentration by Corbell, and it's a touchdown.
Now we're out here tonight, Ed. Excuse me, they've not yet announced how many, but at last they have seen in person for the first time this year their offense get rolling.
Well, we're there in the 30,000s here, at least. This is still the baseball configuration. It doesn't hold as many as it normally holds during the regular football season. But now we're seeing Jim Kelly as we anticipated seeing him, Jim.
Well, also, I had been told this, not having seen Houston before this time, that Jack Party's defense is playing better and better and better. And admittedly, Denver has missed some big opportunities, but a lot of that has been the defense of Houston. Some of it has been bad judgment by the Denver Gold, but they've held them to 17 points and looking better as the game gets going. Now, with 13:48 to go, there is time, but the Gold offensively have not looked good in the last 10 minutes of play. They'll have to get something going. Pressure put on Evans. He's been sacked. He's thrown the ball into double coverage. Now he's got his man out across the way. That is Mark Lewis is having a good night, and he's across the 45-yard line, tackled by Devon, and it is first down at the 47-yard line.
Well, the one thing about this attack, you're in a 2-minute offense all the time. You can get hot and move it and pick up a lot of yards and score a lot of points quick.
You know, we've not heard that Mike Mitchell is hurt tonight. And now I see Mike Mitchell out there, but Devon is in there, and he's making the more noticeable plays, playing to the outside as a true corner, and Mitchell is kind of helping out in the middle. Now he's coming to the outside to help out on double coverage. The man coming off the line of scrimmage is Leonard Harris catches that ball for a couple of yards, and Mitchell is there to make the stop.
Well, the reason for that, Jim, is that they're using those 5 and 6 defensive backs. Devon being a rookie, Mitchell being the experienced player. I'm sure they've moved him inside because of the use of all the combination coverages. All Devon has to do is play outside, either play man-on-man or be concerned himself with playing the zone. I'm sure that's what the defensive coach is thinking was.
I'll take your word for it. You're a pretty good defensive coach yourself. Second down and 8. There have been, let's see, over 600 yards in offense so far. Not by one team. They need a play here. And oh, he does hold on to it. That is Lewis, still on his feet. Getting to the outside, gets a good block. And goes out of bounds, and that's the prudent thing to do at the 31-yard line. Outstanding play by the 3-year veteran out of Missouri Western, Mark Lewis. Another one of those men that's hardly a giant, 5'9", and barely 160 pounds. But he can fly.
Take a look at the isolation on him. He's coming downfield now. Now watch him make this break to the inside. He hits him on the break very well. Almost loses it, hangs on to it. Now watch him run after the catch. Again, these receivers in this attack for both teams have great speed, make a lot of yardage after they catch the ball.
Vincent White put quite a block on Will Lewis, the cornerback. First down, ball to the 30-yard line. And now Billy Johnson tries to, whoops, that's not the way to go. He tried to come back as he was tangled in there by Pete Caton.
Well, again, Pete Caton, Cleveland Crosby playing that soft ends, looking for the running game. Both of them fell back inside, made the play.
It is second down. He lost 2 yards. Second down and 11 to go. Clock running better. Less than 12 minutes to go now.
That Pete Caton is a character. He set mouse traps all around their practice facility. In the first half, it looked like Mouse Davis had escaped those mouse traps, though.
Not a bad football player either. Second team in USFL, 17 and a half sacks a year ago. Off to the same kind of start this year. Leonard Harris, the man in motion. Need a play here. Second down 11. Evans looking for somebody. Loops it out here for Harris, and it is intercepted by Mike Mitchell, the man we were talking about. Number 35, and down he goes at the 19-yard line. Billy Johnson put him down, but Denver, since midway through the the third quarter has not been able to do much. 11:26 to go in the game. Gamblers out in front, 29-17.
Jim, just as we talked about a second before, Mitchell on the inside receiver had to come with him, and looked like Harris tried to run a flat and up to the goal line. Mitchell recognized, just stayed right with him. Perfect timing, got help and calls from the other defensive secondary, looked up, and the ball was there.
Oh, here comes Jim Kelly again. First down at the Houston 19-yard line. And he's on Nate Miller again. And Miller starts backing off as soon as the ball is snapped, but it is given to the running back instead. And Darrell Clark makes good yardage and a first down up to the 35-yard line. Mike Mitchell, wondering where he was, playing to the inside, came over, as Ed pointed out, from the inside and got that interception. By the way, for Mike, that was his first interception of the year.
Tell him where you're born, Mike.
Well, that was one of those adjustments. See, they moved him inside on this nickel defense, and he's playing it well, showing a little bit of experience that he had from last year.
That's 14 interceptions. They've had 15 that Houston's had this year. Here goes Kelly. There goes McNeil. Hello there. Oh, that is not McNeil. That's another speedster. That's Corville. He's the 10-1 speed merchant for the 100 meters. They both have threes. They both fly. And Denver can't do anything about it.
Well, if you're a defensive back playing against this group, you better be in condition and better be ready to run. Jim looks to his left and comes back, knows where he's going all the way, knows he's going deep with the ball. And Corville again with that outstanding speed, great over-the-shoulder catch. That's a very difficult pass to catch when it comes down over your shoulder like that.
On the 13-yard line, and lately, Houston's receivers have not been dropping the ball, have they? They've been running under the ball and making good catches. They're coming across the middle. Now it looks like time may be called here, and I believe by Houston. Nope, they're moving something on us. Well, now they're going to say it's Denver calling time.
Take a look at this. If he comes down, there's 1 foot in, and maybe that second foot hits out of bounds. Jim, I'm not so sure that should have been a completed pass.
Well, are they going to dispute this? Are they going to dispute this?
Looks like the coaching staff, is this a red flag? Got to throw the red flag.
There it goes.
Well, now we have,
you know what?
Bob Finley, the official is representing the league, going to look at this. If we get that shot, we may see the first reversal.
Again, see what happens here, Ed, and I pointed it out. They've got the large scoreboard, and they replayed our replay on that scoreboard, and I'm sure someone on the Denver bench saw it and said, hey, wait a minute, appeal that one. We may have a real good deal here.
We may see history in the making.
It would be the first if it is upheld, and the way we saw it, it's got to be upheld. You've seen it too. Well, you watch it again, they'll be watching it upstairs.
Let's take a look at it. Here it comes down the sideline. Now there's the ball coming in, hits his hands right there. His left foot comes down in, and his right foot is out of bounds. If ever they're going to call one and reverse it, this will be it.
All right, they have a man, as he said, Bob Finley, they'll talk to. They get on a walkie-talkie down here. Temp Humphreys talking upstairs, and Mouse Davis is right there. See, here the red flag goes up for these three reasons.
Well, the red flag,
this is what happens if you do not. It's allowed 1 per half, and your time of charge if it does not, if it's no upheld.
It is going to be upheld. Like some of the reaction of the Denver players.
Now here's what I was wanted to say. These are the only things you can challenge. Whether the ball crosses the goal line, whether it is inbounds or out of bounds, and they're going to come back the other way. The pass is not complete because the man had to put out of bounds. Now the funny thing is, they haven't announced it yet, although the teams are coming back. They've not replayed, since I said they got the replay here. They have a big G with a star on it, and they've not been replaying it for the audience here in the Astrodome, so they can see. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, other than to say it's the first time they've been upheld.
Look at Mouse.
But it could make a big difference, 29-17. Now, they ought to replay. This is one of the stadiums in the country where they can replay it for them to show that he did not catch that ball with both feet in bounds.
Let's see how the official announces it.
Has been ruled an incomplete pass. It will be second down.
And that is official, and that is a good call. Now, again, we're going to show it again, and let's see, but they're not showing it here in the stadium.
The feet. There he comes with his left foot inbounds, and the right foot definitely steps out of bounds. Excellent call by Bob Finley, the official that was in the booth looking at it. This again shows you this is a big call. Instead of them having the ball way down on the 10-yard line because the official made an error, and they are human, they can make errors. They now have the ball back here. Could be a very important part of the ball game.
But I got to laugh because they did not. We have shown that replay how many times? 3 times, and that's what they've had up on the scoreboard since the first time it was shown. And obviously Denver on the opposite side of the field and up to midfield from where Corville caught the ball out of bounds. They did not show it another time. But that's their prerogative. That's why you have home game.
Well, I wonder if they have a ruling against that, though, Jim. Possibly.
See, now they go to the play on the scoreboard now that it started here. That's funny. Once it came back, they went to the play on the scoreboard. I got to talk to them once this is over. That's funny.
I like the call, though. I like the idea. And if it was a conclusive shot, as that was, it's good for football.
I wonder, all right, let's turn it around the other way as you take a look at some statistics here. Turn around the other way. I wonder if they should show it to the crowd or whether they should keep it secret so that the officials, without intimidation, I'm just wondering about it. We'll have to find out about that as you look at the quarterback comparisons here. Find out whether or not they did that deliberately so the crowd would not intimidate any decision.
Well, no comparison between the quarterbacks, especially this second half as Jim Kelly has gotten cranked up for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
In any event, that was held up, and that's good. And that is Clark trying to trap the ball after the ball hit him in the stomach. Can't do it, and it's 4th down, and Denver's going to get the ball back.
Oh, I think I agree with you 100%, Jim. That as conclusive as that was, they should show it to the fans in the stadium to eliminate all the boos and all the people wondering what happened.
They can show it to them after the decision, however. Right. I don't know what the rule reads because this is the first time I've ever worked a game where they've appealed it, and certainly it's the first in league history where it's been upheld. Anyway, we move on, and here's Dale Walters to kick the ball away. The score is 29-17. And I tell you, in the last 7 or 8 minutes, about 30 seconds have gone off the clock. Because of the controversy. Oh, they've knocked the man down, and there goes the flag. Denver makes another mistake. They'll get the ball back. They knock Walters off his feet.
Running into the kicker, defense number 54. First down.
Well, you see, you're going to see a whole lot of folks go into him. They're going to call it on the linebacker Hope, but there'll be more than one to hit him. There's about 4 of them get in there and hit him right there. That was an easy call for the official to make.
Lenka was the one who backed into him. 10-11 to go in the ball game, 29-17. Houston holds on to the ball. First down near the 40-yard line. On is this Saturday night, Los Angeles, having won its first, goes down to Arizona. Los Angeles has to keep on winning to try to keep within shouting distance of this Houston ball club. They've got one more time to play. 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 Pacific. There is our score. First down at the 38-yard line. And Baruch is in and is in motion. Here's Kelly getting the ball across the middle. And that is Richard Johnson. And he is out across the 40-yard line to the 44, a pickup of 5. It's 2nd down and 5.
Very interesting how they came out this second half, Jim, went back to their basic offense, the things that they're going to do in moving the ball. Mouse Davis is going to look back at this ball game. If they lose it, their failure to capitalize on breaks and opportunities that they had, the missed opportunities, he's going to look at the film and say, we really had a chance to win this ball game.
Ed Delaney alone gave them 3 chances to score. Over to the far side again, and there's the quick turn by Corville. And he's got the first down inside the 50-yard line down to about the 46-yard line, where Lovell put him out of bounds. Clock continues to run, and Kelly can be forgiven now, even though he's got that gambler instinct in him, no pun intended, to go down deep just to take these 4 and 5 yards, move the ball down the field, and take time for the clock. Get out of here.
He'll throw that long one in there occasionally, but I think the coaching staff did an excellent job at halftime of saying, hey, all this fancy stuff we were fooling around in the first half, all we did was outthink ourselves. Let's go back and do what we have done all year.
Funny thing, most of the time they get run and shoot offenses, it's the defense that does all the changes. Here's the offense that's so successful that tried to change. Now they're back there. He's going to go long downfield. Look at this. McNeil is there, and wow, I thought his head was taken off by Nate Miller, but no call on the play. And McNeil is going to have a conversation with the official down there.
Well, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he felt like he was interfered with.
This is the second time that
Look at the speed, look at the fast of McNeil coming down through. Let's take a look and see whether we think there is interference. There's the ball.
You don't think that's interference?
Well, that's all.
And they see it. See, they see that replay in the stadium. That's why they're booing.
Fisher was right on top of the play. There's another angle of it coming over the top. That would have been a very difficult call for the official to make call on that interference. That was very close.
Right or wrong, but we must say, as they're working apparently on cramps here, we must say that that kind of thing is not something that you can appeal and ask for another replay. You only get one shot in a half anyway. So there's several reasons why nothing is said there.
You wouldn't want to waste it on a shot like that. And the one thing, as much running as these receivers do, and as fired up as they had been during the course of this ball game, you'll probably see some cramps. Let me tell you, defensive backs having to chase these 4-3 guys around all the field, when they get into the fourth quarter, they have to be a little bit tired.
8:37 left. There's the good crowd.
Jim, I think that Jack Pardee is talking to the officials over there about that possibility. And my guess is that the official might be explaining. I don't think that you can question a judgment call like that.
Well, the official is coming over this way, calling time.
There's another shot of it. Of course, the fans here in the stadium are seeing that same shot that you folks are seeing at home on the big replay screen here. Very close call.
Second down and 10. The red flag did not go up. It cannot go up. Kelly's talking. You know, this is such a new rule that I'm sure that not every player, coach, team official knows exactly what you can do and what you can't do. Many of them do.
I think it's a thing of the future, though, Jim. I think the NFL will suddenly catch up and realize they have to use it in their football game.
Well, it certainly gave the Denver Gold a little added hope, if not life, when that long pass was called back. Now Kelly is wrestled down with a sack, and this time it was Carswell coming all the way, and Kelly rolled right into it. No one picked up Ernie Carswell, the rookie out of Alabama State, and Kelly rolled that way. So it's a loss back to the 47-yard line. And it is third down now, and 16 to go. Now, they've not yet started the clock. Now they start the clock. Both teams were huddling, and they didn't start the clock. And the man, it was simply a running clock. I mean, he was sacked. However, here's Kelly. There you go again, folks. It's the big show, and that's a good catch there by Corbell. No question there. First and goal to go at the 9. It doesn't work one time, come back with it again.
Well, just incredible. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. There he is back again. Watch him unload. What a touch he has on working with these receivers. This one doesn't make any difference. They can't challenge him, but look at the concentration over the shoulder. No question with this one. No way they can challenge that one. The bell was right there. But again, the speed of those receivers.
First down, 9-yard line. Ball game over 3 hours old, and we have better than 8 minutes to go in the ball game. But that's just what we expected. 2 run and shoot outfits, very little running. They've actually run more tonight than we thought they would. And it is Houston that has gotten things in gear. It's Kelly, they're liable to make a runaway with this. Kelly throws. Kelly has it in the end zone. And there is Verdun with his 4th touchdown catch. Flag down, however, so hold on. And it is Kelly that is getting up very slowly. It may be roughing the passer after the touchdown, and they'll get that on the kickoff.
Rolling to his left, taking around, looking around downfield, has plenty of time. Key to this was the protection. Escapes a tackle there. All the while, Verdun is working to get himself open, comes all the way across the end zone. Look at the job here. 59 Nevins, the rookie linebacker, went in and took a shot at him. At this stage, that's frustration when a linebacker takes a shot like that at the quarterback.
4 touchdown passes tonight for Kelly. He's done it again. 4 touchdown passes or more. 17 for the year as Toni Fritsch is in to add the extra point. And this ball game has just gone right out of the reach of Vince Evans and the run and shoot offense of the Denver goal. Good snap from center there, and the kick is good. And they have moved out to a 36-17 lead, 8:08 to go. The Astrodome has reason to think their team has this one in the bag. It took a little while to get it cranked up. Denver had opportunities, did not take advantage of them, and then they went away. The defense of Houston put it to Denver, and now they'll step off the 15-yard penalty on the hit of Kelly after the pass. And of course, Kelly has things cracked up now with 4 touchdown passes, 3 in the second half. And it is 36-17. And you know, well, you always know, or practically always know in the run and shoot offense, Ed, that you're going to throw the ball, but now they really know they can tee off because they've got to throw the ball. They're down by 19 points.
And again, the speed of these receivers just simply wears defensive backs down in the fourth quarter. But they've done every game.
Now, there was offside on that kickoff, but they're not going to call it. One man was 3 or 4 yards downfield. They called it 3 times tonight. And Caleb gets back to just the 11-yard line. But I guess they figured this one's just out of reach. He's always got a smile or half smile on his face, Jim Kelly. Loves to play this game. 4th straight week throwing 4 more touchdown passes. Looks like they're going to be 4-0 after today.
Well, here it is.
It's going to be 2-2. Watch this.
Here's the end of the play, and here comes Nevins, 59 in to hit him. No question that there was a late call. No question it was a kind of a cheap shot. Kelly looks like he's all right, though. He'll come back from it.
Vince Evans. This team was up at one time 14-13 and 17-13, but now things have gone awry. Gets this ball out and trying to make something out of it is Lonnie Turner, catching his first pass of the night out across the 20-yard line. And that's not quite enough for the first down. They got about a half a yard to go. Clock running, 7:20 to go. And now you can see, ready to come in, they'll give Kelly a rest, Todd Dillon. He's got a great arm himself, set all kinds of records at Cal State Long Beach. And after that hit that Kelly took, and with a 19-point lead, why not? Vincent White. Across the middle to White. It's away from one man and gets out to the 30-yard line. He's got the first down. White has caught the ball well. He had a good running play tonight and threw a vicious block downfield on another pass play.
Well, I think Mouse Davis is showing good coaching right now. He's taken his quarterback, stayed with him, going back to basics and say, let's just start moving the football. We're preparing and thinking about the rest of the season. Let's don't panic and throw any more interceptions. Try to get back into the rhythm of what we can do.
Again, Lonnie Turner again, and they're after him right there. Well, Houston spends its next 2 Sundays right here. They get Portland next week, and then Baltimore, which manhandled Doug Flutie yesterday, comes into town 2 weeks from now. Denver goes back home for a couple of home games, getting San Antonio and Orlando. So over to this side, batted away. Intended for Mark Lewis, but batted away in the backfield. 5:46 to go.
Excuse me, Jim. Cleveland Crosby's played an outstanding game. With that softness, there he was, sophomore last scrimmage, jumping up and knocking the ball down. But again, I like what Mouse Davis is doing right now. He's staying with Vince Evans. He believes in him. This football team is going to win a lot of games. As you said, they go back with a chance to win a couple here to get their confidence going. I have a feeling that as the season wears down, they'll continue to improve. They ran into a good football team. Jim Kelly is just playing outstanding football, and Gambler's defense playing outstanding.
You mentioned Crosby. We'll mention others. Here's Evans in trouble. Gets out, goes far. And that's going to be picked off if he can hold on to it. And Luther Bradley has another one. His 4th of the year. His 2nd tonight. Playing center field, Bradley hauls it in. I was going to say, give credit to Van Hughes, Jose Taylor, and Pete Caton, too. But give credit to those defensive backs. Mitchell is intercepted. Bradley's intercepted a couple. 5:33 to go.
Well, there's Luther back there playing center field, and this is what players love to be in a position. He's just watching development going on, his experience. See him moving one way, almost runs into the official, watches the ball, almost drops it, but follows it in. Now he picks up a couple blocks. Mitchell throwing a block there, another block in that area there. That's his second interception tonight. And the first guy to congratulate him, Tommy Myers. Both of them playing the same position. First guy to grab him was Tommy Myers.
Tell you one thing. No one, as we said, Dillon was coming in, and he is in. Denver will go back with missed ideas and opportunities tonight, but Vince Evans has got to go back and think, good night, I had a bad night tonight. And a lot of it is due to pressure. Now here comes Baruch in motion. Dillon on his first play makes the handoff to Darrell Clark to get some time off the clock. That'll run it down below the 5-minute mark. Mike McKibben makes the stop. And let's see. In the Western Division, Houston will be 4-0. Denver will drop to 2-2 into a tie with Arizona. Oakland will move into second place 2-1-1. Dillon played some time as you take a look now at Frank Khalil out of Arizona, the center, Kurt. Todd Dillon set records at Cal State Long Beach, wound up in the CFL, and has been the backup for a couple of years here to Jim Kelly.
I'd be a bit surprised to see him work a little bit on the running game here. They haven't had that opportunity because of the injuries, and Harrell is coming back now, probably ready to play full speed next week. Wouldn't be surprised to see him run the ball a little bit more than they have in the past.
Carl Allen, as you look at Jim Kelly bending over Frank Khalil and say, can you get up? And they're just letting Khalil stay there. Now here's Jim Kelly, the most career touchdown passes, 61. They've put that up on the board, and that is why everybody is yelling. They can see that, and Jim waves back to them on the board here in the stadium.
Jim, I believe that's his dad sitting next to him alongside the sideline. That's his dad. That's his father sitting alongside of him.
Khalil has just now gotten to his feet, not to take anything away from the adulation of Kelly, but Jim and his father, yes, sitting along the sidelines, and there goes Khalil at last able to get off the field. Now that has been 2 to 3 minutes that he was down. No one came out to get him, and they allowed him that time down, and now he is off the field, and we will resume with 4:45 to go.
Looks like a classic hit in the back there.
Dillon throws his first pass, and Douglas comes back to Scott McGee has it. He's knocked down by Delaney, and that could be a first down at the 43-yard line. Should be a first down at the 43-yard line.
Dillon has a gun for an arm, Jim. He'll step in here and move this football team just depending on where they want to really, how much passing they want to do. But he has a good concept. He has worked with this going on to his second year. He has good ideas of what they want to do. Ideal backup because he can step in and play.
21 regular seasons before tonight, 57 touchdown passes. Regular season games for Kelly. Now it's up to 61 with his 4 tonight performance. That ball was simply just thrown too low for Vince Corbell. And it's second down and 10, 3:58 to go. The statistics look good, but don't you be mistaken. Houston was in trouble throughout the first half. Denver was defensing them well, moved the ball well, had opportunities which went awry because the defense of Houston played well. Then things really got uncranked with about 5 minutes to go, third quarter.
Well, that's a great thing about great quarterbacks. They can go a little sour for a while, but all of a sudden they get hot.
And look at this. That's Calvin Turner. Did he see somebody move? Or was he just trying to make one big play before this night is over? Hey, somebody did move, and that's why Calvin Turner alertly jumped across the line of scrimmage. Second down, 15. Turner's had a good night tonight. Called his name quite a few times.
Played well.
The fellow that I have not called, and maybe it's because of what they were playing, his name too often is John Nevins, of whom we heard so much, the number 1 draft choice, their inside linebacker. He's been in on a few plays, but most of it away from him.
This offense makes it very difficult for a middle linebacker to make a lot of plays because of all the outside passing.
Dillon throws. Whoops, that was dangerous there because stepping in was Darrell Hemphill, and he's the man who had the chance for the ball. That's Baruch, who started out as a running back in this game, or at least from that position. Screen pass set up to Darrell Clark. Clark gets back to about the original line of scrimmage where it is going to be 4th down, and they'll have to kick the ball away. Hemphill put him down. Well, it's a great home opener for Houston, and they're home, as we said, for the next 2 weeks against Portland and Baltimore on Sunday afternoon. And Jim Kelly, after a slow start, has made believers of those who have not seen him before, or those who didn't believe before. He has got an arm and he can move.
If you watch him in this group of receivers, you become a believer very quickly.
3:05, and they'll let as much time run off the clock as they can. Walters kicking the ball away. Fair catch called for by Vincent White, who lost the football and is finally picked up by the man behind him, and back he comes. Ernie Carswell, and out of bounds he goes at the 25-yard line. Knocked out by Bruce Threadgill, the third-string quarterback who came down to make the stop. 2:50 left on the clock.
Bruce Threadgill is one of those players that does a lot of things. Third-string quarterback, plays the slot position.
Here is the throw out here, and we can see that that's Galliano in there, the quarterback, as they've taken Vince Evans out also. Stiegel, a reserve slot back, caught the ball, number 85. So we have Bob Galliano out of Utah State, who played a lot with the Kansas City Chiefs in there. 33,740 looking on. They expected about 35,000, but it was 33,740, nearly 34. And after this performance tonight, I'm sure that Jim Kelly has made a few more fans, and with 2 more home games to follow on a Sunday afternoon instead of on a Monday night, Houston will do very well. Off to a good start, off to the best start of the league. There's Galliano throwing the ball out across the way, and that is caught out there by Mark Lewis, who's had the best night of all the receivers on the Denver squad.
Well, they've taken away the passes to the slot back. Going into the game, they really hadn't gone to the wide receivers. They tried to adjust. Look at Kelly on the sideline. Can you believe this? If he continues at that pace, look what those final stats would be.
Don't say if you believe this. Is there somebody that doesn't believe he will?
78 touchdowns? That's incredible.
That could happen if he keeps the rate of 4 apiece. And who's to stop him? I bet you a bunch of coaches are saying, oh, yeah, we will. Whoa, look out, Galliano. Just absolutely submerged. No chance at all. Teeing off on him. And it is 2nd down and 19 to go.
That's Anthony Hollifield now, who hasn't played very much. He just simply beats the blocker. Guy has no chance to see him coming. Wraps him up and puts him down. Sure, that's his first sack of the year.
Let's see. I don't think Galliano's going to try to get a play off before. Maybe he will before the 2-minute mark. He's got time for a play. Stepped in there with about 12 seconds to go. Line of scrimmage, 5, 4, 3. Let's see if he can get one off here if he wishes to get it off. But I don't think he's going to get it off. No, he allowed 12 seconds to go off the clock.
Jim, Dick Corey saw that ice pack around Jim Kelly over there.
As Ed Biles was saying about Dick Corey, the coach of Portland.
Well, I was saying that Dick Corey's watching this game, but I'm sure he is because he plays them next Sunday. That ice pack, he's kind of hoping that maybe that's just a 1-week injury. Nothing serious, but 1 week.
Next week when he's going to play him. Galliano throws the ball out here on a screen, and that is Gerhardt. And Gerhardt does not pick up enough for the first down. Jose Taylor put him down. Clock continues to run. 1:45 left now in this 36-17 ball game. As we said, Denver will fall 2 games below in the loss column, but they are an improving team in the run and shoot, and they've got San Antonio and Orlando coming up. If they play well, they could be 4-2 and still only 2 games behind after 6 games. That's not bad. Galliano puts it up and overshoots his man, number 89, Troy Johnson, a rookie out of Southern University.
Now those defensive linemen aren't worried about playing soft. All 4 of them are just lining up, trying as soon as that ball is snapped, get to the quarterback. They don't care if they run the ball and make a few yards now.
Now the referee gave the signal after the incomplete pass to start the clock. And that, of course, is the play clock, not the game clock. This is 4th down and 8 to go. Galliano must connect here, or Houston gets the ball, and he connects there. Across the way, Adrian Simpson put quite a hit on Brad Caleb, but Caleb held on to the ball at the 39-yard line. And it's 1st down, Denver. Now that's got to make Galliano feel fairly well after being sacked. Picking up the 1st down on 4th down and 8.
A lot of difference when that backup quarterback is in there at this stage of the game and the defensive secondary playing a little bit loose. Backup quarterbacks have a tendency to move it. That sometimes creates problems for head coaches.
Galliano fires it, and there is the pickup by DeVaughn. DeVaughn down the sidelines across the 40-yard line and out of bounds, holding it up. Yet another pickoff tonight. They've got 16 for the season, and this is just the 4th game. 36-17, and by the way, as you look at DeVaughn and the defense, when you go to write or talk of the story about the Gamblers and Jim Kelly, add a word or two or many more about the Gamblers defense. They played well tonight.
So true. They kept them in the ball game in the early part when the offense was struggling, not doing very well. That secondary group was having an awful lot of fun. This is a very close-knit football team.
All at the 39-yard line. So Mouse Davis, with his run-and-shoot outfit, has come back to face the run-and-shoot outfit that he founded while assistant to Jack Pardee, and comes away a loser in his first try. Here's Todd Dillon back, and Dillon is going for the end zone, and that was almost picked off down in the end zone by the defense. Sean Potts was the man they're aiming for, and Steve Trimble, just now getting to his feet, was the man who almost intercepted Todd Dillon's throw. 102. We saw this in the first time I ever saw the run and shoot. Houston was down playing San Antonio. They had a big lead over San Antonio, but they didn't know how to run out the clock because they didn't have their running attack in at that early stage of last season, and they kept throwing these long passes with a minute to go.
Well, they don't attempt to run out the clock that way because they believe in the passing game. And, of course, Todd Dillon, now, this is an opportunity for him to play and do things.
Well, I'm talking about last year. They'd love to have gotten out of there, believe me. But they could not, and that ball is caught across the way by Corville. And he has the 1st down. He was inbounds. 55 seconds to go. Vince has had another good night. Who hasn't had a good night? McGee has caught one for a touchdown, had one overruled, and McGee may have cause to believe that he was twice interfered with deep in Denver territory on each occasion. One time he's knocked off his feet on the goal line. The other time they almost took his head off on about the 5-yard line.
A whole lot of receivers around the country are looking at this and saying to themselves, well, would it be fun to play in that type of offense?
McNeil was the man who had those. Oh, that's great concentration, but he just could not get to the ball for Dan. Oh, look, that's McGee again. 88, not 89. 2nd down. 51 seconds to go. Simply playing up the string now. Many of the people, I keep saying about those who have left Ed, but many have stayed to see this bitter end, even though here in Central Time Zone it is 10:45 at night. On East Coast, of course, it's almost midnight. 2nd down and 10. Dillon, he's got his man out there. Got McGee being wrestled down. And wrestled down by Nate Miller, who has been beaten a few times tonight. Notably by Gerald McNeil. There's Jim Kelly, 4 consecutive games, 4 touchdown passes, 61 in 22 regular season games. Houston is about to win its 11th consecutive regular season game, dating back, of course, to last year.
Oh, that Jim Kelly is really a competitor, and he really stays with his team. He cheers the defensive players. There he is over there with the Hawkins brothers. He cheers them. He's in the game all the way. Here's the backup quarterback in there. We're going to let the clock run out. That's the last play of the game.
In the last 22 games, 17 times Houston has won with 30 or more points. That's incredible. Time runs out. Kelly a hero. The defense a hero. Houston remains undefeated. Denver falls to 2-2 and falls to 3rd place. as Oakland, with only one loss, moves up to second place. One loss and one tie. Final score, 36-17, on the 4 touchdown passes of Jim Kelly. Jack Pardee along the sidelines talking to Mouse Davis, who was his assistant last year. Smiles, of course, on the face of Pardee. There's your final. We'll be back in a moment with a word from the Astrodome in Houston. 34,000 fidgeted in their seats tonight, while the Houston Gamblers were a little slow in getting things underway, but Ed Biles did and won it going away by 19.
Well, I think you got to give the Houston Gamblers defense a tremendous amount of credit. For most of the early part of the half and midway into the third quarter, the defense was sputtered. Jim Kelly was kind of having some problems with some of the changes he looked at. Defense kept hanging in there. Then all of a sudden, Kelly got the solution to the puzzle, took him in, started points on the board, and then he became Jim Kelly, as only Jim Kelly can do. Score points, 4 touchdown passes, keeps up the incredible pace. They're a fine football team.
And that's our next game coming up Thursday night, 8:30. It's a all-Florida affair, Orlando and Jacksonville. And then Saturday night in Arizona with the Los Angeles Express, who just won their first game. Steve Young takes that improved act to Arizona. And then a week from tonight, Denver tries to get well again and above the 500 mark again when they play San Antonio. That game will be in Denver, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, right here on ESPN. Jim Kelly, 4 games. 4 times he has had 4 touchdown passes. Can't do much better than that. And Denver wins going away 36-17. I'm Jim Simpson, along with Ed Biles from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Well, for the first time tonight, a coach appealed and was upheld. But the bigger news is Houston won its 4th in a row. Good night from Houston.